Have you ever noticed how a conversation can end, but your brain refuses to end it? You're brushing your teeth 3 days later, and suddenly you're back in that moment. Their tone, your pause, that one sentence you should have said. In the weird part, it's not even the big conversations that haunt you, it's the small ones. The awkward joke, the half smile, the yeah, sure that felt colder than it looked. So why do some people replay conversations in their head days later, like it's a movie they can't stop watching? Here's the psychology behind it. 1. Your brain hates unfinished stories. Your mind is addicted to closure. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnic effect. We remember incomplete things better than completed ones. So if a conversation ended with uncertainty, if you didn't say what you meant, if you don't know what they really thought, your brain labels it unfinished. And unfinished things don't sit quietly, they loop. Not because you're weak, but because your mind thinks replaying it will magically produce an ending that feels safe. 2. You're scanning for social danger. Humans don't just want connection, we want acceptance. And your brain treats social rejection like a threat, not a small one either. Studies show social pain activates some of the same brain regions as physical pain. So if you sensed judgment, awkwardness, or disapproval, your mind goes into analysis mode. You replay the conversation to answer one question: did I mess up? And if you're someone with high social sensitivity or even mild social anxiety, your brain becomes a detective. It examines every word, every facial expression, every silence, not to torture you, to protect you from it happening again. 3. You're high in self-awareness, but low in self-compassion. This is a painful combination. Some people are incredibly self-aware. They notice their tone, their timing, their micro-reactions. That's emotional intelligence in one form, recognizing social dynamics. But if that awareness isn't balanced with self-compassion, it becomes self-attack. Instead of, that was awkward, but it's okay, it becomes, why did I say that? Why am I like this? They probably think I'm annoying. And now the replay isn't just a replay, it's a trial, and you're the defendant. 4. Your brain is rewriting the better version of you. Here's a subtle truth. Replays aren't always about regret. Sometimes they're about identity. When you replay a conversation, you're often imagining a version of yourself who was sharper, calmer, funnier, more confident. That's not random. It's your brain practicing. In psychology, this connects to mental simulation, your mind running scenarios to prepare for the future. But there's a trap, because you're not just practicing what you'll say next time, you're punishing yourself for not being that version this time. And the more perfectionistic you are, the more your brain believes, if I replay it enough, I'll finally get it right, even though the conversation is already over. 5. Negativity bias makes one weird moment feel bigger than it is. Let's be honest. You can have 10 good interactions in a week, but one slightly awkward conversation can hijack your entire brain. That's negativity bias. Your mind gives more weight to negative events because evolutionarily, noticing threats kept humans alive. So that one moment where you stumbled over words, where they didn't laugh the way you expected, or you felt off, your brain magnifies it. It turns a tiny social scratch into a life lesson. And that's why it follows you into the shower, into the car, into the quiet moments at night when your brain finally has space to talk. Now here's the real takeaway. Replaying conversations doesn't always mean you're overthinking. Sometimes it means you care deeply. You're socially aware. You want to grow. You want to be understood. But there's a line. Reflection helps you learn. Rumination keeps you stuck. So the next time you catch yourself replaying a conversation from days ago, ask yourself, am I learning or am I punishing myself? Because you don't need a perfect response to every moment. You need peace. And most of the time, the other person is already moved on. If this hit a little too close to home, you're not alone. And if you want more psychology that feels like someone finally explained your brain, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.